Hello, my name's Rebecca. I work for Froglife at the London Tales of Amphibian Discovery Project. Froglife is a national wildlife conservation charity championing reptiles and amphibians with projects across England and Scotland. The London Toad Project works across London boroughs to improve, restore and create habitat for the common toad, a species which has declined by about 68% in the last 30 years. In this video, we're going to have a look at some of London's native amphibians, what they look like, where you might be able to find them, and how you can help them. So, let's start with our most iconic amphibian, the common frog. You're most likely to spot the common frog during spring and summer in or around the pond. In autumn and winter, you might find them looking for food in log piles or hibernating under sheds, plant pots, or, if you're doing work in a pond, in the mud at the bottom of the pond. My top tip for identifying a frog as a common frog is to ignore the colour and look for the dark mask behind the eye. All common frogs will have this. Frogs have moist-looking smooth skin and range in colour and can be greens, browns, yellows and reds. This often reflects the colour of the local mud, and in London we have quite a large population of red-coloured frogs. The common frog also has surprisingly long and stripy legs, which allow it to jump 44 times its body length. A huge hip bone supports the leg muscles and gives the common frog an angular appearance. Next up, our favourite here at London Toad. This is the common toad. The common toad appearance is rounder and chunkier than the common frog and has significantly shorter, stubbier legs. Its skin is drier looking, more uniform in colour, and covered in bumps or warts. Behind the eyes are two large bumps called parotoid glands, which produce bufotoxin, which, although not poisonous, tastes extremely disgusting. In fact, it contains acetone, the same stuff that nail polish remover is made of. The common toad needs this defence against predators because they do not have the ability to leap out of danger like the common frog can. Instead, toads stay incredibly still, hoping that their camouflage will protect them, and producing the bufotoxin as a second line of defence. The most striking feature of the toad is their golden eye with flattened horizontal pupil, and this is what you'll want to look out for if you can only see a pair of eyes poking above the surface of a pond. Toads spend less time in the pond and will leave soon after mating, looking for damp habitats high in prey such as slugs, wasps, and basically anything else they can fit in their mouths. Both the common frog and common toad lay spawn in ponds in spring. Frog spawn is laid in clumps of eggs which float on the surface. Toad spawn is laid in strings which are wrapped around submerged plants to prevent it floating, and so is harder to spot. Initially, the tadpoles are very hard to tell apart, but as they grow, frog tadpoles become brown with speckles, while toad tadpoles remain black and have a stubbier, chunkier appearance. And now let's move on to our three main species of newt: the smooth newt, the palmate newt, and the great crested newt. All three newt species stay in the pond much longer than the common frog and common toad, mating and laying eggs from spring to early autumn. Whilst a female common frog or common toad might lay 2,000 eggs, newts only lay about 200, carefully folding each egg inside a submerged leaf to hide it from predators. Female newts can be hard to tell apart, so we will look at the males in their full mating glory. Smooth newt males are up to about 11 centimetres long and have a smooth undulating crest which runs from their neck to their tail. They have stripy faces and striking black spotted orange bellies to impress the ladies with. If you get a glimpse of their neck, you'll see it is a cream or white with speckles or spots. Palmate newt males are smaller at a maximum of 9 centimetres long and only have a crest along their tail, which ends in a filament, allowing them to flick their tails faster than any other species of newt in the UK. They also have stripy faces and a spotted coloured belly, but the colours are much more muted. If you are lucky enough to see their chin, the skin is translucent pink and doesn't have any speckles or spots. The great crested newt cannot be mistaken for anything else. If you see a newt and think, is that a great crested? Then it's a smooth newt. If you see a newt and think, oh my goodness me, what is that? Then it is a great crested newt. They are significantly larger, up to 17 centimetres, chunkier, and look like underwater dragons. Their jagged crest runs along their back and tail with a break in it at the base of the tail. They have bright orange bellies with black splodges and slightly wartier appearance to their skin. Out of the water, they look quite black. The UK is a stronghold for this species, which is protected under EU law due to its decreasing population on the continent caused by, amongst other things, invasive species and disease. In London, you can find populations of all three newts, but the most common is the smooth newt. We're at Streatham Common, and it's a bit mizzly and drizzly today, but that's brilliant for amphibians. So we're going to head on down to the ponds and see if we can find any newts and maybe a frog or two. Come on. So we definitely found some newts. They're absolutely everywhere in the Rookery Gardens. These are smooth newts. And they will be spending the whole of the spring and summer pairing up, mating and laying their eggs in the plants in the pond. You can see the stripy face of the male newt and the plainer features of a female newt. Sadly, we didn't spot any frogs on our trip, but maybe you'll have more luck next time you visit the park. If you have enjoyed learning about Lambeth's amphibians and want to get more involved, take a look at our other video showcasing our most recent venture in Lambeth, Leaping Forward for Dementia. If you would like to know more about the charity, visit www.froglife.org. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, or for general inquiries, email info@froglife.org.